Good day to everybody out there. This is See Thy Wealth, Water Your Health, Drink a Glass of Water. And Diddy has been sentenced to 4 years in jail today. I say it's a win because, he could have he was facing up to 20. The prosecutors were seeking 11 years, but he ended up getting 4. I say it's a huge injustice because the same guy, or the guy named Mike Jeffries, who was the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO, and his 2 co-defendants were facing the same exact charges as Diddy. They were able to be let out on bail, and Mike Jeffries was able to claim dementia, which meant that he wasn't able to stand trial. So his case basically got thrown out. As far as what happened to the other 2 guys, I don't know. But I do see that Diddy got hit with 4 years, and for him to be held without bail, and the judge in the other 3 individuals' cases gave all 3 of them individuals bail. This is the injustice that we as a black people go through in this country. And I always say, we know right from wrong. Because I've been in the system. I did 6.5 years in jail. We know right from wrong. I knew right from wrong. Even I knew the system wasn't designed for me. I still play with them people. On Diddy's situation, I'm not saying that he is... Honestly, I think that it was a bigger play. I think that the judge gave him that sentence based off of other things that maybe... Was it a guy judge? A guy he saw in those tapes, but he wasn't convicted of. So I think that maybe he was convicted off of things that possibly was saw in those tapes, or like I said, it could have been another agency who wanted Diddy to get more time. And when I mean by another agency, I mean a dark force. You know what I'm saying? Because Diddy was playing a real high stakes game with high stakes individuals. You know what I mean? Because so with situations like that, you really never know where your hit is coming from. You just sitting down in front of those people with your federal charges, and you got to take it like you taking it. Unfortunately. But like I said, it's a victory for him because he was facing up to 20. But to look at Mike Jeffries and his 2 co-defendants and to see them guys home, it's unbelievable. It is. Even in 2025, it's unbelievable because you don't even hear about that case. You don't even hear about the case. Why? Why haven't you guys heard about the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO, his case, as much as you heard about the Diddy? Yes, Diddy is a lot more prominent than he is, but he had $10 million. He posted a $10 million bond, and he posted a $10 million bond for his husband, and his co-defendant got out. These guys had the ability to flee the country. In fact, a lot of their charges was international as well. Even though it was in the United States where they were charged, a lot of what they was doing was international over in Europe, back and forth. So I say it's an injustice. It's really an injustice that he got this time. Should he have been sentenced to this amount of time? I say no. I think he should have been let home from time served. I really do. Now, we know that he has a history of a whole bunch of other things, but he wasn't on trial for that. He wasn't on trial for that. I'm not caping for Diddy. I'm just saying from a justice standpoint and from what I see with other individuals, it's just not adding up. And we'll still continue to go out here and look at what happened with Diddy case and still do the same exact thing as if we haven't learned. A lot of them rappers, they all do the same thing. Entertainers, NBA owners, NFL owners. Look at what happened with Robert Kraft. They getting caught in that bathhouse. You mean to tell me these guys ain't doing the same exact thing? This ain't to say lock them all up, but it's just like, yo, if y'all gonna hold this man accountable, hold all of them accountable for the same exact thing. What's like, because he don't want to play y'all game no more? What is it? Why focus on him? It's a messy game out here. A lot of us out here seeking the attention, seeking the fame, seeking the celebrityism, and wanting to sign these contracts and get into business with this one and that one and thinking that we meet our favorite celebrity is we made it. No. You really are stepping into a dark underground that you have no idea what you're getting into. Maybe because you came from poverty and you never had nothing and you want to see what it feel like to be on the other side of that. It's always better to do this on your own with a little bit of help, because we can't get it. We're never going to go far by ourselves. But you have to be very careful about who you're getting into business with. Very careful about who you're getting into business with, because you might be doing business with the devil. And as we can see, Diddy has done business with the devil. Some have called him the devil. And this is what you get. Like I said, 4 years is 4 years is a drop in the bucket. He'll probably be home at the beginning of 2027. Possibly sooner. He might get an appeal. He might get a pardon. So he could be home well before that. But the fact of the matter is, he has to sit down continuously. His kids have to go without their father. Luckily, he's in the position he's in to where he's able to set them up. You know what I mean? Look, it's a lot more other individuals out here in worse positions than Diddy. We doing content right now, giving my opinion, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Diddy gonna come home and probably have the same mentality as he had before. He may not break the law no more in that capacity, but most of us who go to jail and come home, we still got the same mentality. No, we don't want to go back to jail, so we'll switch up some things so we're not breaking the law and being illegal. But the mentality is still there, and hopefully he get the rehabilitation that he needs to be independent of drugs and not need that. And his anger issues. You know, because I deal with anger issues myself, but I'm not dragging no women across no hotel room. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I don't know if that was AI or not. We just don't know. We just don't know. We don't know what was said behind closed doors when they was like, this video is going to drop and you better not say nothing, or this is going to happen to this individual. You just never know. The game is rigged. The game, everything is made up nowadays, damn near. So you just never know nowadays. That's why it's important for you to focus on yourself so you can become independent, self-sustainable, and not have to worry about showing up to work tomorrow or selling your soul for a couple dollars because you tired of living in poverty. You know, but listen, I'm not going to go on too long with this. Like I said, it's an injustice. I wish that man nothing but the best, and prayers for the victims like Cassie who got dragged across the hotel floor. You know, but to be sentenced to 4 years for prostitution, man, and everybody was willingly participating, it's sickening. It's sickening. But you know, it is what it is. We're free. We off grid. We got solar. We got a creek behind us. We got well water. Diddy is the least of my worries, and he should be the least of yours, especially if you got to clock in today, especially if you had the clock in yesterday, especially if you had the clock in tomorrow. You might not need to be worried about Diddy. You might need to be worried about how you can become self-sustainable so you can take care of yourself and your family. Because that man is taking care of his family from behind bars. Them children are still living large. Still not having to go and work for anybody. So you might want to prioritize your time. And with that, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water.